All right, before we jump into the actual program, I just want to do a little bit of a preface. And I don't think it's any surprise to anyone sitting in this room that we have a problem in this country. The state of our health and our weight is not good. Currently, 48% of the US adult population has prediabetes or diabetes. 48%, almost 50. 41% have metabolic syndrome, and that could be anything from diabetes to high blood pressure to cholesterol mismanagement or central obesity. And if we continue with the way that we're going right now, the projection is by 2048, 100% of US adults will be overweight or obese. 100%. So obviously, something we're doing is not working. And the reason I tell you these stats is because I don't want you to feel sitting here like shameful or like it's your fault for if you feel like you're in that overweight, obese category or unhealthy in general, because the system that we have has set us up to fail. It's not working. And so then I ask you, I'm sure everyone in here has done a diet before. Why do diets tend to fail? Too aggressive, not sustainable. What else? I like that, Shani. Not a lifestyle change, it's just a quick fix. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the other missing component is that a lot of times we undertake a diet on our own in isolation, or maybe with your husband or your best friend or something like that, but we tend not to be surrounded by people who are doing the same thing. And research shows that when you join a program for health or habit change, stopping smoking, stopping drinking, losing weight, whatever, your success skyrockets when you're in a group of people doing the same thing. So community is really the missing factor for a lot of people. Starting in the 1970s, the USDA, which by the way is the Department of Agriculture in this country and not our Food and Drug Administration, for some reason, we're told what to do with our health by our agriculture department. And they said, stop eating fat and start eating grains, corn, sugar. And so we did that. Since the 1970s, you can see on this chart, it stops in 2005, but the trends are continuing here. We did start eating more vegetables, but vegetables includes all starchy vegetables as well, our corn, especially corn, wheat, potatoes, those types of things. We started eating more fruit and grains. And we stopped eating or decreased our consumption of red meat, of eggs, of animal fats, of whole milk, of butter. So we did what we were told to do, and the result has not been good. Our percentage of population with obesity and metabolic syndrome is continuing to climb. So those recommendations were not founded in sound science. So let's go back to our diet mentality. One of the reasons diets fail, there are many. One of them is doing things that are unsustainable or things that you can't continue, you don't have community. But another one is that when you cut calories drastically, your metabolism slows down. So when we look at data, for instance, like The Biggest Loser, that TV show, if we look at the data of those people and their weight loss, they lost a ton of weight up front, and then all of a sudden, they plateau. Even though they haven't reached a healthy weight, they start to plateau. And that's because your body is very efficient and very smart. So if you reduce your calorie intake without changing anything about the foods you're eating or the time that you're eating them, your body is going to be like, I know this game. I'm going to hold on to everything I possibly can, which is a good thing, you know, evolutionarily. That's good. We want to stay alive and keep our energy reserves. But if you're someone that could benefit from losing weight, you don't want that to happen. You want your body to gradually let go in a linear fashion. So what we want to do is not restrict calories by much at all. Whenever I set people up on a caloric plan or set them up in a food tracking app, I put them at a 1/4 pound a week of weight loss. Very slow. And that's the best way to do it, because then your metabolism is not slowing down and you are going to see that really gradual, steady progress. Cutting by 1,000 calories leads to a 25 to 30% reduction in your metabolism. And I think on the whole, what I see is people under-eating. People that are overweight and can't lose weight tend to under-eat, which sounds so crazy, right? I want you to eat more to lose weight. And calories in, calories out are not the only factor. There are so many other things that contribute to the way that we maintain our body mass, our lean tissue, and our fat mass. Hormones play a huge role in that. So if you look at someone who is eating a standard American, ultra-processed fast food diet, if they're merely restricting calories, but still eating those high sugar, high processed foods, they might lose weight for a little while, but their engine is not running clean. There's plenty of skinny people that have type 2 diabetes, metabolic dysfunction, all of those risk factors. So it matters what you eat and how much you eat, both. And there's basically 3 things that we can manipulate. What you're choosing to eat, like we said, how much you're eating, and then the times that you're eating. And that's because you have different hormones that ebb and flow throughout the day. And so timing actually does matter in terms of weight management. In this program, we're going to talk about the first 2 of these, dietary choices and intake moderation. Insulin is our master hormone. When insulin is secreted, when you eat sugar or a lot of protein, it signals to your body to store fat. And there's no way to get around that. Insulin signals fat storage. It is an anabolic hormone. When you eat fat, no insulin is secreted, meaning eating really good healthy fats can lead to fat loss because you're not constantly storing more body fat every time you eat. You're giving your body an opportunity to burn body fat when you eat fat. So how do we lose and maintain a healthy weight? Or how do we get healthy in general? Maybe you're sitting here and weight loss is not your goal. This is also going to help you maintain and feel good. So we want to set up some habits that are realistic and that stick. With the preface that anytime you start something new, it's going to feel hard. This program is probably going to feel hard. But if you can overcome that hump, that 4 weeks, and make these habits become more routine for you, they're not going to feel so hard. It's just like working out. The first time you do that 65-pound deadlift with the bar and the 10-pound weights, you're like, oh my gosh, this is hard. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes your baseline. Join a community. You've done that. Congratulations. That part is done. Started, at least. And give yourself time. Don't expect crazy results overnight. You shouldn't even want fast weight loss overnight. If you're losing weight too fast, that's a problem. That's a red flag to me that you're on a yo-yo diet. In this program, we are going to prioritize veggies. Veggies are the most nutritious thing. Well, I shouldn't say that. They're a very nutritious thing that you can eat, include in your diet. And they're also low in calories. So eating veggies gives you 2 things. It increases the nutritional value of your diet, but it also takes away some of the caloric density. Because if you were going to eat a handful of nuts, which are healthy, versus a bowl of cucumbers with a little olive oil, you're going to get fewer calories in the cucumbers and olive oil than the nuts. Not that the nuts aren't healthy, but if you're choosing veggies primarily, then that helps moderate your calorie intake while you still feel satiated. So prioritizing veggies. Let's pull out the task sheet that you have on your clipboard there. Maybe I'll just grab one of these too. So let's start getting into what this program is. Notice under the daily tasks section, there's a day for every day of the program. And there's all those little check boxes. The very top checkbox, because it's very, very important, is eat 4 servings of veggies a day. This is what a serving is. 1 cup of raw veggies is a serving. So say you had a cup of baby carrots or cut celery or cut cucumber, tomatoes. 1 cup is a serving when it's raw. If it's cooked, a serving is a half a cup. So consider a cup of broccoli, when you roast it, it shrinks. It becomes a half a cup. Not all veggies shrink. Like when you cook carrots, when you steam carrots, they don't really shrink that much. But that's okay. We're going to just keep this as a hard and fast rule because it's also easier to eat cooked veggies. You can eat more of them. So half a cup serving when it's cooked, full cup when it's raw. Half of an avocado is counted as a veggie. And you know what? Avocados are not veggies. I know that. You're going to tell me, but avocado is not a veggie. I know. Do you know what it actually is? A berry. An avocado is a berry, but it's so nutritious, full of healthy fats, omegas, lots of fiber. It's worth it. We're going to count it as a veggie. And if you're eating a salad or lettuce greens, it's a 2-cup serving for 1 serving in our program because they're kind of fluffy. You know, if you squished them together, it would be 1 cup. So these are your serving sizes. We're going for 4 servings of veggies a day. Most people tend to do better 2 servings at lunch and 2 servings at dinner. So I think that would be a good strategy for you. We're going to choose healthy carbs in this program. This is really helpful for me. Would your great-grandmother recognize this food and all of its ingredients as food? Let that guide you in what is a good carbohydrate choice. If it grew from the ground, it's a good carb. Even potatoes are good carbs. My ancestors survived on potatoes for thousands of years, so I know that they're good. Of course, we're going to keep our carbs under 100 grams, so you can't eat potatoes all day, but you should be eating whole plants, potatoes included. Here's a chart of our carbs. So good, really good carbs. Carbs eat every single day over here. Pretty good carbs, carbs to eat a serving or 2 a day, or maybe every other day in the center here. And then really not good carbs. No food is bad food. So I like to say they're not good, but they're not bad. All food is good food. In this program, we're going to be avoiding this column here. Not to say that you should never have these foods again, but for now, let's try not to have them for 4 weeks. So we're keeping our carbs under 100 grams of net carbs. Is net carbs a new concept to anybody? Net carbs are total carbohydrates minus the fiber. So if you had a slice of bread that was 15 grams of carbohydrates, but it has 5 grams of fiber, you're only tracking 10 grams of net carbs, which means you're incentivized to eat things with fiber. That's the reason we're doing net carbs. So as you're tracking your food, you're keeping track of net carbs, and it's 100 grams. We're going to focus on healthy fats at every meal. Healthy fats, again, are fats that your great-grandparent would recognize as fats. It's fats that come from well-sourced meat, pasture-raised, organic, maybe local, pasture-raised eggs, fish, wild-caught fish, organic olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, and plants like coconut and nuts and seeds. Those are well-sourced fats. Dairy, I miss dairy, also dairy. And we're gonna hydrate well. Feel free to change up your water. Add things in that make it more interesting. Citrus, squeeze of lemon, squeeze of lime, squeeze of pomelo, whatever citrus you like. Add some herbs, mint, basil, thyme, maybe some cucumber slices, some ginger, anything that you like to make it more interesting. What we're not counting is any other beverage, just water. Keep it simple. No sparkling water, no coconut water, just water. 64 ounces a day. A lot of times people can benefit from creating a schedule to drink their water. So if you have a water bottle that you use all day long and you know how many ounces it is, so this one is 20 ounces? 24 ounces, then you can figure out how many of these do I need to finish each day to hit that 64 ounces. So say I need to hit 3 of these, I better finish my first one sometime mid-morning, 9 a.m., 10 a.m. My second one, I got to finish by 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. And my last one, I want to finish by dinner time. I definitely don't want to wait until 7 p.m. and guzzle down 64 ounces of water, because then you're not going to get good sleep. And I really want you to get good sleep. So try and drink your water early in the day. No, it's a good question. Some people might say yes to that, but since this is a group program, I think you can do just water and tea. So 64 ounces of water plus tea. Yeah. Don't count it. Yes, please feel free to drink your herbal tea and whatever you've been drinking. Unless it's energy drinks, we're not doing that. Just saying. No energy drinks, you guys. All right, so we got 4 weeks to kickstart your healthy habits. I just thought this was such a funny loop. It just keeps going. So the goals of this program. The number one goal is to get you to cook at home. And we did this program in San Marino last quarter and had such a huge success. I found that just the cooking at home part helped people feel better, have more energy, sleep better, have better bowel movements, lose weight, all those things. And so even though we are tracking the other things, we're tracking the carbs and the water, the cooking at home is what I really care about. Tracking your food, keeping carbs under 100 grams of net carbs, eating 4 servings of veggies a day, drinking 8 glasses of water, and moving, taking 10,000 steps at least 5 days a week. That means every week you have 2 days to say, whoops, didn't hit 10,000 today. So I would aim for 10,000 every day, because there are going to be those days you don't make it. 10,000 steps. The tools that we have for this program are the task sheet. This guy, use this task sheet every single day. Put it up on the fridge, put it by your bed, make it visible. We also have meal planning sheets for you. On your clipboard, we printed out one, but I recommend using this every week. Print out a few more copies. Start with this one. Plan out your meals. I sent out the welcome email yesterday. Afterwards, let me know if you didn't get that, but it has a very large recipe book. So recipe book, I don't think you got it yet, Glenn. So we're cooking from the recipe book, but you don't have to. It's for inspiration, it's to guide you, but if you have recipes that you love that fit within the parameters of the carbs, throw those in. Throw things in that you love and know how to cook. We're gonna be posting weekly on Slack. That is the largest part of the accountability and community of the program. Slack is our community messaging app. I'm gonna show you a QR code to join if you're not on it yet. It's very easy to use, and you'll just snap a photo of your meal prep on Saturday or Sunday and post it in the group every week. Show off your beautiful meal prep. That's what we wanna see. And then tracking your food, you can use any free food tracking app that you like. I prefer Chronometer because with the free version, you can track net carbs. A lot of food tracking apps will make you pay to have that feature. I love Chronometer. I think that's the best one. CRONO. It's right up here too if you want to see it. And I'll show you a link for that as well. First of all, let's all join Slack. If you're not on this app, open up your phone. Hopefully this works. Shoot your camera at the QR code. Once you're on our community Slack, I will add you into our closed group for the program. It's a private group. You'll be able to see everything else for Village, but this specific program is a locked group just for us. I'll add you to it. Yeah, once you join Slack, you don't have to do anything. I'm going to go through today and add everyone to the group. Is this working for everyone? To download, yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. I'm also going to send out these slides today. So if you want to do this at home later, you can do that. Thanks, Julia. It's not working? Are you already on Slack, Shani? I think you might already have one. Okay, we'll check it. Okay, we'll check it later too. All right, the next thing is using your food tracking app. If you're using Chronometer, it's the logo at the orange Apple logo. That's the one that I like. You could also use something like MyFitnessPal. If you're used to a food tracking app, keep using the one that you already know how to use. Okay. Yes. So afterwards, I'm going to add you to our group. Yeah. Okay. The next step, like today or tomorrow, is to plan your meals for the week. Your first post is this weekend, tomorrow. If you need to post on Monday, I understand. It came quickly. It's a lot coming at you. So plan, shop, and cook your meals. These are pictures from someone sitting in this room right now. Aren't they beautiful? Prep your food, take some photos. They may not look as beautiful as this. That's okay. I'll connect you guys. Post your photos every week by Sunday night. Just your prepped food. Yep. The whole week. Yes. Whatever you've been able to prep on the weekend. I understand that sometimes it doesn't work to prep for 6 days at a time, but say you're doing Monday through Wednesday on Sunday night, post those photos. You can also tell us your plan. Say you're like, I didn't get to the store, I had events all weekend, here's what I plan to do. You can do that too. Yeah, I guess it depends on how many people you're feeding. So if you're feeding yourself, I would prep at least a lunch and a dinner for a few days in a row. So if it's Sunday, you're prepping Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, lunch and dinner. So 6 meals. Plan your regular walks throughout the day. To hit 10,000 steps, you're going to have to take more than one walk. Most people. There's a new trend in my millennial group. It's called the Hot Girl Walk. Has anyone heard of this? It's to incentivize you to go out on your walk. You put on your makeup and you put on your cute outfit. So then you want to go on your hot girl walk. So, or I don't know, hot guy walk. Sorry, guys. So maybe that will help inspire you. You're going to go on a hot girl walk? Great, Colby. Take your starting waist measurement and weight. On your task sheet, you will see there's a spot to put your starting weight and waist measurement. Those are just data points. So it's a good thing to do just once a week, not more. Not weighing every day. That's too much. Once a week, just to see if we're trending in a direction you want. If weight loss is not a goal of yours, that's okay. Still take that, because I actually want to know if you don't want to lose weight and you're losing weight. I want to know that too, so we can adjust. And using your task sheet every single day. Checking things off. If you can't check something off, make a little note. I had 3 servings of veggies, or I only hit 8,000 steps. So give yourself notes. It's not a failure, it's data. This is a good way to see your trends. Maybe you notice, I can never hit 10,000 steps on Wednesdays. Or maybe you notice, I'm not drinking enough water on the weekends, something like that. So this is more about pattern recognition, and it's not about failing or shame. Yeah, exactly. Or use that as a spot to make notes if you didn't. Those who have taken this challenge seriously have lost an average of 5 pounds in the month. And everyone doing the challenge is also strength training. So that's 5 pounds of fat. That's a big difference. That's not just 5 pounds of muscle and water weight. So cooking at home, I think, is one of the cornerstone principles of living a healthy, sustainable lifestyle. And it's hard. It's hard to find the time to prep and shop and cook and do all the things. But if you can make the time, it's just going to make a huge difference for how you feel, your goals, your brain health, your motivation, everything. So that's why this program is really set up to encourage you to cook more at home. At the end of the month, if you complete your task sheet, even if you didn't check off every single box, but you completed, filled it out, did all of your weights and measurements, etc., turn it in, you're going to get into a raffle to win a prize. So a little bit more incentive to continue with the program. If in week 3 you're not doing well, don't say like, oh, forget about it. Just keep going. Jump back in. Turn in your task sheet at the end. I'm also doing something called a personalized nutrition evaluation. So if you're someone that's been at Village for a long time or you're new and you want to check in and see, how am I doing in 12 areas of nutrition and health and lifestyle? Am I succeeding? Do I have holes where I could improve? Maybe you have gaps that you don't even know exist. So this is an opportunity to sit down one-on-one to go through your health history, medications, supplements, to look at your strategy, to look at your quarterly goals and maybe yearly goals, and to have someone look at your health from an objective viewpoint. And that's what I love to do. I'm a scientist at heart, so I love to look at the whole picture and break things down. So if that's interesting to you and you'd like to sign up for a nutrition evaluation, you can roll the cost of this program into that appointment. If you sign up today, instead of the $249 for that hour-long evaluation, it's just $149. And I think this could be a really good choice for someone who's like, all of a sudden my blood work is coming back irregular. My glucose is kind of high, my A1C is creeping up, my LDL is too high, and I don't know why that is. So then I can work with you one-on-one and figure out, okay, here are the factors that are creating that problem, and here's how we can fix it. So if you're interested in signing up for a personalized nutrition evaluation, Haley is going to be coming back in the room at the end here, and she can help you sign up for that. All right. Here's our program. Any questions? I'm going to open it up a little bit. Monday is day 1. Great question. Yep. Monday's day 1. Yes. Great. Great question. So here's in this guide here, I have a, oh, it's kind of hard to see this. Let's see if I can. So here's a sample week that I put into the challenge guide. And these are the recipes from the cookbook that you're going to get. So for example, say you're not a veggie at breakfast kind of person, like this example. You don't have to necessarily get too many veggies in the morning, although the avocado does count and the sauerkraut also counts. So maybe your lunch is a soup with lots of veggies in it, and that counts for 2 servings. And then your dinner is a salad or some lean meat with veggies on the side. This is what I would do. I would go through the week, plan it out, think through the recipes you want to use first, and then create your shopping list from that. Yeah.
Sauerkraut. How much of that is 1 serving? Like, count that as a veggie. How much of that?
I count it as like a cooked veggie because it is kind of cooked, half cup. Yeah. Totally. You can eat a pickle. Yeah. Yeah. This is just an example. Just an example. It's really good. Yeah. With the sauerkraut. Yeah. Dr. Matt eats sauerkraut with eggs for breakfast and with ground meat for lunch every single day. And it has transformed his gut health. His digestion has never been better. I like the Wild Brine brand. Yeah, they sell it at most stores in the cold section. It's in like a little plastic tub, like a square. Oh, I didn't know that.
And they have the white one and red cabbage.
Ooh.
Which is
Yeah. Wild brine. Yep. Yes, absolutely. Sonoma Brinery also makes sauerkraut, and theirs is really good. And Bubby's brand also has a good sauerkraut. Yeah. All of those are going to be in the cold section because they're alive. They're living like a little pet. Kind of gross to think about it like that. Yeah. So this is an example of a day of eating. On the back of your meal planning sheet, you might have noticed there's a sample weekly shopping list. You probably have many of these things in your pantry. So this might look a little daunting, but like you probably have maple syrup, you probably have some nut butter, you probably have some veggies, these types of things you might already have on hand. So just kind of calling that out. And then if you haven't gotten a chance to take a look at the recipe book, this is what it looks like. So we have lots of breakfast options. And it can be as simple as yogurt, berries, some nuts or chia seeds, and that's it. You don't have to go crazy. I want you to do the thing that's sustainable, like Shani said, and simple. That's what you should be going for in this challenge. Yeah. So either you're gonna have it in little containers, like individual yogurts ready for each day, or if you're someone that would prefer like your yogurt is just in a container and you're taking a scoop out, just take a picture of like, I have my yogurt, I have my berries, I have my almonds. Yeah. Any other questions? Hey, Judy.
So what do you eat when you're hungry?
Well,
I'll still be hungry.
hopefully if you're having a large enough portion and enough fat and protein at each meal, you shouldn't feel too hungry. Of course, if you feel hungry throughout the day, I would increase your meal sizes first. But if you need to have some snacks like veggies and hummus or an Epic bar, some nuts, something like that, you're totally welcome to snack. That's not against the program. Yeah. So eat the foods that make you feel good. This is less about calories and more about cooking at home and the carbohydrates. Yes.
So if we have questions, I'm just concerned as a vegetarian, getting my protein.
Absolutely.
I try not to eat all the time.
Gotcha. Yeah, there are a bunch of soy options in here too, like some tofu type options. Anytime you see a meat, you can sub it for beans, lentils, tofu, whatever works for you. And we might need to adjust your carbs a little bit as a vegetarian, but that's totally fine. Yeah, you can reach out. And the Slack channel is there to support each other. So let me pull it up so I can show you guys. If you've never used Slack before, it's really fantastic. It's really transformed our business to use it. Let me show you. So this is our client Slack, and here's the New Year Nutrition Challenge. So when you want to do a Slack post, you're gonna probably add a photo, but you might say, hey, does anyone have a good recipe for sauerkraut? And then everyone's gonna see that. And if you want to respond to it, and you want to respond in the thread so it's all in the same conversation, you can say, yes, Casey taught me one last quarter. I'll send it, something like that. So that's how Slack works. Feel free to use that. Ask each other questions, respond to the photos, celebrate each other. If you'd like me to take your waist measurement to start off, I can do that after the session here today. And otherwise, post tomorrow with your meal prep, and I'll see you guys on Slack. Welcome. I'm so excited for you guys.